Hey, welcome to this latest masterclass this week, and we are looking at minimum standards, something that we really need to kind of get across, especially when life is really busy. And a lot of the time, for a lot of you guys, life can be extremely hectic. So we're trying to create a version of your plan that is going to survive even the worst week ever, the worst week imaginable. We're going to create a plan that helps you survive that. That's what today's masterclass is all about. So why we are talking about this right now? Well, at the minute of recording, this is August the 3rd, right? The kids are off school, routine is gone. Half of you are away on holiday or about to go on holiday, absolutely knackered from a house full of kids or their friends or whatever's going on. And this is the month that people struggle. This is the month that people quietly disappear, then reappear in September. And then when it gets to September, we say, oh, we'll start again. The dip, is predictable, which is why I'm releasing this video. Now, the spiral is absolutely familiar, see it all the time, and we're going to get ahead of it from today. Okay, we're going to get in front of that spiral before it even happens. I'm going to make you aware that it's probably going to happen, and I want you to kind of have a look at the warning signs as well. So this masterclass today exists precisely for weeks like this, months like this. Okay, now the real reason people struggle and fall off in this situation is they try and plan a perfect week when realistically a perfect week just ain't gonna happen. So you try and put 4 to 5 sessions in, workout sessions, whether that's at home or in the gym. You try and prep all your meals and be perfect and not have any cake or not have any barbecue food and all this kind of stuff. You're trying to get 12,000 steps every single day. You're expecting everything to run absolutely smoothly when realistically, let's be honest about this, it absolutely bloody ain't gonna run smoothly. So what lives underneath plan A? Absolutely nothing. So you're looking for this plan A, perfect week, everything runs really, really well, but there's nothing underneath it. So if it doesn't go well, you think you're a failure, you think you're lazy, you think you haven't got any willpower, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, sod it, I'll start in September in this case, okay? Now, when plan A dies on a Tuesday, and it will sometimes, the only other option you have built in this scenario is doing absolutely bugger all as a result of that, and it just rolls on into weeks and months of just kind of like losing control, losing focus, and not having that backup in place, which we're looking for. So when you have no backup, you've got no floor, you just got a full stop, basically. So we're looking to have a backup. Now, does all this sound familiar? And I'm guessing there'll be a few nodding heads as you listen to this, right? So every one of these is the same problem, just dressed up in a different way. There is no floor to catch the fall, and we need to have that safety net in place. So work goes mad on a Wednesday, so the whole week just becomes an absolute write-off, not just the Wednesday. And it's a weird psychological thing that we've got as human beings, but if Wednesday doesn't go right, we think, oh, what's the point of doing the Thursday, Friday? It's nearly the weekend anyway, I'll start Monday. You know, if the kids are off school, the entire 6 weeks, you're thinking, you know what, this 6 weeks, it's going to be difficult this 6 weeks, I'm not going to do anything. Again, it's a strange psychological thing that we've got, that we're just thinking, if I can't be all in, I'm going to do nothing. But what if you met halfway and then you can still make progress during the summer holidays, during the school holidays, during a holiday, and come out the other side in a really good place, right? If you miss one session, the other 2, the other 3 don't happen because you think, oh, I've missed one, what's the point of doing the others? And if you're away for a weekend, so basically you're good Monday to Thursday, and then after that, you're just like, oh, sod it, the whole weekend is going to be an absolute free-for-all. It's the weekend, I'm going to enjoy myself. Something I'm trying to help people understand is that you don't need to completely throw everything away and enjoy yourself, because we're trying to integrate a lifestyle into this. So if we're good with the majority of stuff most of the time, just every day in everyday life, you can continue that into those holidays, those weekends, but also there's a bit more relaxation there, that you don't have to completely binge or completely throw everything away, because you've built something, you've built a routine, you've built a plan, and you know you can have a bit more cake or chocolate or takeaways or whatever, but you're still in control. That's what we're trying to achieve, right? All of these things are different excuses. It's the same pattern. There is no backup plan. There is no floor. There is no safety net there. Okay? So hopefully this is all kind of making sense. You've probably realized, yeah, I've done this a few times in the past, if not doing it right now. So what minimum standards actually are, because that's what we're looking for here, minimum standards, right? This is where people get it wrong. So it's very important we listen carefully to this one. Minimum standards are not lowering your bar. They are the floor, okay? Not the ceiling. So it's not about lowering the bar, they're just your floor. So you still aim high. I still want people to aim high, push themselves. You are absolutely to drop to the floor on a bad week, right? What you're not allowed to do is fall through it to the absolute bottom. We've got a floor that is not the basement, right? We're not going through to the basement. The ceiling is the ambition, and that's what I want everyone to aspire to, is like, yeah, let's have an ambition, but we've also got that floor level just in case the perfect ceiling, ambition, fantastic week does not happen, which at this time of the year, it probably won't. So the floor is going to be your identity, okay? That's important to remember. The floor is the identity, and the person you want to become never drops below that floor level. You're not going into the basement, mate. You're staying on the floor, all right? Now, how does this fit in with all of this stuff? 3 tools, 3 different jobs. They work together, not against each other. So you've got minimum standards first and foremost. The decision you make before the week goes wrong, okay? Not at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday when you're knackered. So you make that decision first and foremost, your minimum standard. Then you never miss twice. What you do after a slip is very important. 1 missed session is not an issue, okay? 2 in a row starts to become a pattern. 3 in a row starts to become a problem. Remember that. 1 isn't an issue. 2 becomes a pattern. 3 is a problem. So we never miss twice. We just get back on it. We kind of nip that little flow in the bud straight away before it becomes too much of an issue. And then we have the 80-20. Okay, this is one of the most important things I want everybody to understand. I chat with people all the time and I'm like, oh, what are you doing with your health and fitness now? And they're like, oh, I'm following this certain diet. And I'm like, isn't that quite restrictive, you know? And when things are restrictive, they're not sustainable. 80-20 is the most sustainable way of getting in shape, looking fantastic, feeling fantastic, and living your life. Quite simply put, the proportion of everybody is trying to just be too strict, too perfect. No, we're looking for sustainable progress. So 80% of the time we're making choices aligned with your goals, whatever that goal is. 20% you can live like a human being, you know, takeaways, chocolate, alcohol, parties, weddings, all that jazz. But 80% we're in control most of the time that way, you know, so at least it's 4/5 of everything you do, you're in control. And also when you're in control, you're less stressed. When you're less stressed, you're not going to hold on to body fat as much. You're not going to be craving certain foods as much. And you're just a happier human being. So there's a lot of benefits from doing this, right? Really, really important. This is all kind of like something that you can resonate with and something you feel you can take forward. Your 4 minimum standards. So we'll go to the minimum standards, right? Simple enough to remember, robust enough to hold and to work. The whole thing is based around this. Minimum standards, these are all specific for certain individuals. These might not be relevant to you, but 2 training sessions, okay? 2 workouts in the gym or at home, 2 Zumba classes, 2 kettlebells, whatever it is. Not 4, just 2. Don't feel like you're going to set the world on fire every single week. Now, aim for 4. Like I said before, you got your ceiling, but 2 is the minimum requirement. That is your floor, okay? If you're doing 1 or 0, that's in the basement and we don't want to be there. A walk every day, okay? 10 minutes is your kind of minimum standard. That is your floor level. Perfect scenario, 30 minutes, for example, okay? Again, don't get confused and think you have to do these ones, but this is an example. Protein at 2 to 3 meals of that given day. Doesn't have to be tracked, okay? If your ceiling is perfect and you're going to track with your perfect day, cool. But if things don't go to plan, we just think, right, protein at 2 to 3 of my meals this any given day, okay? Doesn't have to be tracked, just present on the plate. So you've got that protein in there to keep you fuller, to help you kind of be more satiated, to help you continue to help your muscles recover, your body recover, okay? And then you have the 1 weekend guardrail as well. And I love a guardrail. I love a good guardrail. Pick 1 rule and protect it. So that could be you only have 1 glass of wine, okay? It could be that you do a workout at the weekend. It could be that you're gonna go for a hike with the kids. That's gonna be your minimum standard for the weekend. Pick 1, protect it with your life, all right? And if you can start to build this in, my word, it makes a massive difference to who you are as a person, who you are becoming, your identity. 2 training sessions, okay? Standard number 1, not 4, 2. So we'll go into this in a bit more depth. Home workouts count, absolutely. 20 minutes count, absolutely. The workouts you've got as part of my program in the app are there for that reason, okay? We've got structured workout programs, we've got video workout programs as of the floor. They're kind of like the floor if you can't get the other stuff done, or if you just prefer those, crack on with them, okay? No excuses because there's no equipment, because there's plenty of that stuff in there. There's no excuses for time because there's plenty of time efficient workouts. And this is all over the internet as well, so it doesn't have to be in the program. 2 sessions in a bad week keeps you in the game. 0 session starts the spiral, you know, and that's what we don't want. We want to kind of nip that in the bud before it happens. The difference between those 2 outcomes is absolutely enormous over the course of the year. So think, 52 weeks of the year, if you hit your floor level every week of that year, if that's all you can do, then you've done 104 workouts that year instead of 0. What a difference, eh? Think about it that way. Protein at 2 to 3 meals. So we're looking to this one as well. Not tracked to the gram. If that's the perfect scenario, you can track food to the gram, amazing. But if you can't any given day, don't worry about it. You don't need your food tracking app. Just look at the plate, see if there's a palm of protein on there. That is it. If there is, yes, eat it, move on, bosh. That single thing will help keep hunger at bay. You'll help keep cravings under control. and it just keep everything in a nice structured manner, even when life feels a little bit crazy around you at that time of year. Walking every day, I mean, this should be something people do every single day anyway, as much as they possibly can, even if you've got an injury, an ailment, if you're feeling under the weather, try and get some steps in, okay? It's such an important thing to keep the body moving as much as you physically can, okay? I appreciate there's different levels of physicality with a lot of people. So non-negotiable, 10 minutes counts, all right? This is your floor. This one is as much for your head as it is for your body as well. On the worst weeks and the genuinely difficult weeks, a daily walk is pretty much like the only thing that keeps us feeling like ourselves. You know, it's movement, it's fresh air, it's what the human body's designed to do. And it's just a quiet reminder that you're still showing up for yourself. You're still giving yourself that little bit of something, you know, because a lot of the time, a lot of people watching this will be rushing around here, there and everywhere for everybody else, not focusing on yourself. Having a walk just 10 minutes a day does that. It gives you that little bit of clarity, that little bit of time to yourself. And with the weekend guardrail, you know, I said I love a guardrail. So here we got some examples here. It could be one anchored meal, okay? One meal a day with protein and veg, that's it. Job done for that weekend. That's your one guardrail. Protect it with your goddamn life. Match every alcoholic drink with a glass of water. That could be another rule that you have. Like I said, it could be just one glass of wine instead of having a bottle of wine, little things like this. And the big one, and the one that people understand a lot, is the kitchen cutoff point. Sounds silly, but make it off limits after a certain time. It can be 9 p.m. on a Friday night. You're thinking, no, you know what? I'm not going into the kitchen for anything after 9 p.m. Job done. Little things like this make a huge difference. And they might seem silly, they might seem simple, but I tell you what, guys, all of this is simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. If you can implement all of this, you'll be in a really good place. So why does the floor work, right? Well, the first reason is you stop negotiating with yourself. You stop trying to constantly make decisions because you're already buggered for making decisions all the goddamn time. If we can eliminate those with a little bit of kind of like structure in place and having a floor in place as well, the decision's already made, you know? There's nothing to debate at 9 p.m. when you're knackered and you're looking for a reason to kind of eat the food, have the drinks, and looking for a reason to stop, okay? You stay in the game on the hard weeks, and that is the most important thing here. We don't want to throw anything away. Even on the shittest week ever, the hardest week ever, you stay in the game by having a floor. Now, the weeks that would normally end up being completely thrown away, you survive them. You get through them, and then when things become a bit more free again, you got a bit more time again, then you can accelerate. But we stay in the game. Super important you do that. And you stack evidence that you follow through. You know, self-belief is a huge thing when it comes to any physical transformation, health and fitness transformation, anything like this. Self-belief holds a lot of people back. You know, we know what to do, but we don't believe that we can do it, right? So self-belief isn't built on perfect weeks and it's all hunky-dory and rosy and bloody fantastic. It's built in the crap weeks, the messy weeks, when you held that floor level, when everything else went to shit, when everything else fell apart, you held that floor. And that is where self-belief creeps in, because you are proving to yourself that you don't give up on yourself. You're proving to yourself that you do difficult things. And that is absolutely massive for you as a human being, for your health and fitness transformation, whatever it is huge. So write it down while things are calm, okay? Nobody writes down their minimum standards in the middle of a bad week. It's the last thing you're thinking of. You're already panicking. You're like, what the hell's going on? Write it down when you're in a nice calm moment, okay? If you're trying to do it when it's busy, when life is chaotic, it's like trying to plan a healthy dinner while you're standing in front of an open fridge full of, I don't know, chocolate cakes. When you're standing in a queue at McDonald's, it's like trying to plan, you know, waiting for the kids' happy meal. Do this when you're calm. Do this when you've got clear thought process, when you're clear in your mindset, and decide now, use it later. You'll be thankful you did it, okay? So write it down. Don't just wing it. Don't just freestyle it. Think, oh yeah, I'll do this next Wednesday. No, write it down when you've got a good bit of time just to think about it for 10 minutes. So your action task this week is part of this masterclass. You got one task. It's got 3 steps. I want you to do it before the week gets away. If you're struggling with the week, and you probably are at times this month or the last 6 weeks or 2 months or whatever, we're going to write down your 4 minimum standards, okay? Make them realistic for your worst week of the year, not your best one. It's got to be realistic for the worst week. What are those 4 minimum standards that you do no matter what? Work's busy, kids are poorly, you're poorly, life's gone mad. What do you do as a non-negotiable, okay? Check that they are genuinely achievable when work is mad, when the kids are at home, when you're running on literally nothing, no sleep, anything, okay? Check they are genuinely achievable, because we need to have that floor. If you set yourself something and it's not really a floor and you go past that, then you're only going to feel worse. So it needs to be something where it's like, you know what, I can do this no matter what. If Armageddon was going to happen tomorrow, I could do this no matter what. And then send them to me. If you want to send them to me, you can do. Let me know about it. But I want you, first and foremost, I want you to write it down, okay? The point is not to aim low. I still want you to aim high. I still want you to really think, right, what can I achieve this week? But the floor is the backup plan. It's the safety net in case things don't go to plan, okay? And that's what I'm trying to get at here. We've got that backup plan. So just stay in the game. Like I said before, if you stay in the game, you won't need a better plan. You just need a plan with a floor, right? Aim high, keep the ceiling, keep the ambition. Important you do that. Protect the floor. 2 sessions, protein, a walk, a guardrail. Decide it now. Stay in the game, baby. The messy weeks are the ones where consistency is built, where self-belief is built. Show up anyway, and you'll completely transform your identity. Remember, your identity is the floor that you set. So hopefully this has made a lot of sense. If you have any questions about this, you know where to find me. You can just drop me a message. If you're watching this and you're not part of my program, then you can drop me an email at mark@zenithfit.co.uk or find me on social media. But make sure we have that floor in place. Guys, take care, and I'll speak to you all really soon.